News broke 2 weeks ago that legendary Patriots head coach Bill Belichick was leaving the team. Now, you might ask, Charlotte, you're a Patriots fan. Why are you making a video about this 2 weeks after it happened? And the answer, my friends, is that I didn't think I had a lot to say. I believe it was Guy Fieri who said, "This is how a football dynasty ends. Not with a bang, but a whimper." Just kidding, it was Oprah. Just kidding, it was Meatloaf. Just kidding, it was T.S. Eliot, but not the football part. If the departure of New England's head coach of 24 years felt anticlimactic, it's because, well, it was. After an abysmal 4-13 season and a very bad season before that, I think Patriots fans sort of made peace with the idea that Bill might be leaving. And let's be honest, the party was really over in 2020 when Tom Brady did what all old people in New England do and moved to Florida. Now, the lights have fully come on. The disco ball is spinning, very sadly. The floors are sticky. Semisonic's Closing Time is playing, and everybody looks a little bit worse than you thought. But while the party was going, it was the hottest club in town. And saying that makes me sound like I'm 1,000 years old. But it was! The Patriots, and I do not need to tell you this, because if you're a Patriots fan, it's seared into your brain, and if you're not, it's seared into your brain, but in a bad way. They won 9 AFC championships and 6 Super Bowls under Bill Belichick. This might sound obvious, but it is extremely difficult to win in the NFL. The league is built around parity, but having Belichick on your side sort of made the playing field uneven no matter what. He was the Dark Lord of football. He loomed over Sundays like this dark force that could snuff out the brightest offensive light and put together a roster full of like lacrosse players and quarterbacks from D3 schools. I mean, probably not D3, maybe D2, maybe not even D2, but like bad D1. You know what I'm saying. Events since 2020, however, have not made Bill look so great. The last playoff appearance the Patriots made was in quarterback Mac Jones's rookie year. They got absolutely destroyed on the road at Buffalo. The last playoff win was in 2019 when they won the Super Bowl with Tom Brady. I was there. Unless you like hard-nosed defense and, or your dad who's like, scoring points isn't fun, it wasn't the most fun to watch. But it was very fun to be in the locker room when Belichick and Brady won their last Super Bowl together. Not to brag, but if I can't brag about it here, where can I? We didn't know it then, but Brady would go on to prove that he did not need Bill Belichick to win a championship. He won a Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And Bill Belichick would go on to prove that, well, maybe he needed Brady? A lot of people who talk about Belichick's decision to continue coaching or to try to continue coaching mention the legendary coach Don Shula. Don Shula has the record amount of wins in the NFL with 347. Bill Belichick is at 333. A lot of people are like, well, of course he wants to keep coaching. He needs to win, 15 more games? Is that math right? Whatever. We'll go with it. He only needs 15 more games to catch up to this insane record. Like, do you know how crazy that is? 347 games and to be so close. So I get it. Sure, that's probably true. But I actually think that there's something else going on. And I feel like Bill probably wants to prove that he can win without Tom Brady. Listen, I'm not in Bill's head. I do not have a direct line to him. But I have a hard time believing that he would leave the Patriots if he had won 1 or 2 Super Bowls in the past 4 years. Belichick and Brady's careers are inextricably linked. Asking if one could have won 6 Super Bowls without the other is like asking if Bert could have been a puppet star without Ernie. Maybe, but we will never know. Brady got a chance to show us that he could, and it must kill Bill that people are asking if he was even necessary. Now, before you come for me on the internet, Bill was absolutely necessary. He was necessary. Can we get just necessary written over my face right here? Thank you. He put together elite defenses and cobbled together rosters that gave Brady the weapons he needed to win. He had a counter move to every move of every other coach. He played 4D chess. A lot of coaches and players will say that they don't care about their legacy or the things they're doing are not for their legacy or they don't care about the narrative and blah, blah, blah. But all of those things are really just ways of asking, how do you want to be remembered? I care about how I'm remembered. And if I, a mere pleb on the internet, cares about that, I have a very hard time believing that the most competitive people in the world don't. It's hard to picture Belichick with a different team. The other day, I think I asked someone, I was like, do you think that Bill is going to cut the sleeves off of his sweatshirts when he goes to another team, if he goes to another team? And they're like, yeah, obviously, that's a Belichick thing, not a Patriots thing. It was that comment that made me realize how linked Bill Belichick is to New England and, well, me and all fans. There was a third entity in the Brady-Belichick relationship this whole time, and that was the spirit of every fan lucky enough to revel in their greatness. Look, the Patriots are bad for the first 10 years of my life and the last 4. But those 20 in the middle, they were a high. It felt like doing drugs. Look, I'll be honest, I've never really done drugs because I'm just like this. But the vivid memories and euphoric moments that I have from those Patriots Super Bowl wins is what I imagine it feels like to have an out-of-body experience. I know we've reached the point in the video that's a tough sell to people who are not Patriots fans because if you aren't one, you hate us. But bear with me because there was something beautiful and human about this, and I'm going to try to explain it. Celebrating these wins was not about football for me. It was about my connection to the place I was born and the collective experience I shared with everybody in it. These glorious wins left me with clear snapshots of moments when I was growing up. You know those moments where they're just in your head like photographs? That's what the Patriots gave me. The highs weren't the results of the wins, but the results of the wins. It was knowing that the same whoops and shouts and hugs and all the celebrating that was going on in my house was also going on in millions of houses across the region.
Yes! Patriots have won! Super Bowl 51!
And to be honest, it was also sort of about feeling safe as a sports fan, which sounds ridiculous, but it's really nice. I'm sorry not all of you have been able to have it. But knowing that Brady was on the field and Belichick had a headset on, even when they were down 28-3, you were like, we've still got a chance, right? Okay, I know that I'm sounding a little corny because, let's be honest, the NFL is not a nonprofit and the Patriots are not a charity. But for a lot of people in those northern states, the byproduct of what Brady and Belichick were able to do felt a lot like altruism. It was this common thread that kept us all together. Even if you hated football, the Patriots were just in the air and everybody has to breathe. So I guess I understand if Belichick wants to cut the ties. It's strange to say strike out on his own at age 71, but that's sort of what he's doing. And maybe he doesn't want to prove to us that he can win without Brady. Maybe he doesn't care what we say when he hangs up his cleats. Maybe he just wants to prove it to himself.